Hi Sam, how are you?
Hi, I'm okay, Heather, actually. I'm feeling pretty good today. How are you?
Good, I'm good. So how has the last week been for you?
It's been good. I actually not only reached out to my friend, but we got a night out scheduled, so we decided to take a pottery class together. And it was so much fun. It was really good to see her. And she seemed really happy to see me too. I think she'd been saying like she missed spending some time with her friends because she'd been a little like consumed with her relationship. But we had a good time. We made these painted these little like vases, and it was just really nice. And I think that that's a place I would go back to too, because there were a lot of just like I know people just there kind of on their own. So we wound up talking to a couple other people and just having like a really nice time of it.
That is so great to hear. I'm so happy to hear that you were able to connect and go do something fun. Um, how did you feel the next day after that?
I felt good. I really did. I didn't have like maybe quite all of the same energy back that I used to, but like things just felt a little easier. I did some cleaning at home, so like everything's looking a lot nicer than it
Mhm.
was before, and then that made me feel good. So I just kind of like got to relax in like my clean space after and make made some dinner that night. So that was like a good start to things, I think.
It sounds like it. It sounds like maybe this is like kind of a start to a new, like a new situation and feeling better. I'm so happy to hear that. Um, Before we get too far into our session, I did just want to remind you that this is our last session together. Um, but I do kind of want to review things that we've talked about and just make sure that you're feeling comfortable with this being our last session.
Yeah, certainly. Certainly.
So I know, I think it was our second session we had talked about like taking those walks. Were you still able to do that over the last week, or did you kind of move away from that?
I did, and I honestly realized coming back, like, I'm entitled to my lunch break, and that's kind of not my problem if someone needs that. So I made sure I put it in the calendar and let someone know on the way out, and that was just my time. So, the emails can wait. They can wait 30 minutes. So, and they did, and everything was okay.
I'm so happy to hear you say that. You're so right. You are entitled to that break during the day. And if that break is you taking a walk, then that's perfect. It gives you that kind of built-in little break, but also gives you that time to kind of, have some downtime in the middle of the day. So that just, I'm so happy to hear you say that. Um, Anything else that like you've noticed has changed over the last week? Are you still, like not really, I know you've talked about taking the walk and going out with your friend, but have you been able to like go out and go grocery shopping or go out and do other errands, that maybe you weren't doing before?
A little bit, like kind of easing into it, but I have been thinking a lot about like I know that question you asked last week, like what would be different or what would that look like? And I feel like that's given me like just an I don't know, something that feels a little more attainable to like work towards because I know I've done it before and I'm starting to kind of do it again. So it's like step by step, but it's making things feel a little easier and also like, oh, I do have this thing to look forward to, and that thing to look forward to is like feeling better and just having a little bit more like I don't know, just some fun to the day or some things that I enjoy. So that really helped kind of like shift things for me a little bit.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. And it sounds like you've kind of taken on a new perspective about how things are going for you. Um, so I mean, that's great. And again, like step by step, no major changes would be expected to happen overnight, but like the little pieces here and there. So like we started with the walks and then reaching out to the friend. And it sounds like as you've done these couple things, some other things have kind of fell into place too. You mentioned you were able to clean up your apartment a little bit more, and kind of sit and relax in that space. So that's great. I'm so happy to hear that.
Thank you. It felt good. It really did.
Good. And you honestly, like you're smiling more, I think, than last session, which is great. That's a big indicator of how you're doing. So that's awesome. So as we look to kind of close our session out, are there any things that are kind of still outlying that you wanted to touch on, or any questions that maybe you had?
No, I feel like things are in like a good place. Like I feel like I have kind of my next steps, and then I know if I get stuck, like I can, I like now that I've like we've done this before, and like I know therapy doesn't feel so scary to like be like, oh, let me like start therapy. Like it doesn't have to be this whole big thing. It was like really it was helpful, and it didn't feel like something I had to do like forever to be helpful. So I feel more encouraged about doing that again if I need to. You've been really helpful, and this was like just a whole different experience with this. So I'm really grateful.
Great. And kind of as you hinted at, we are still here. So, say 5 months down the road, you're kind of stuck in a rut, or maybe there's other things going on that you need some help with. You can always reach out and we can get something on the schedule. I love to hear that you're thinking about going back to that pottery place again. Um, I can look and find some different activities that maybe are happening in your area, if that's something that you would be interested in, some different social activities to kind of keep you connected. And I can get that over to you. We have some different connections that kind of filter lists through us. So I'd be happy to share that with you.
I would really like that. That would be really helpful.
Okay. And then are you feeling like maybe like an ongoing support would be helpful, like whether it's like a support group or like a group of like-minded people that are meeting but not necessarily a support group? Does that sound like something that would help you
I
long
would
term?
be, yeah, I'd be up for either of those things. I think honestly, anything like that is getting me around people and meeting people right now would be helpful, even if it's like support or just like just to get out of the house and like spend some time with people. So anything you have, I'd be really eager to learn about.
Okay, great. I can send that over to you as well, with those other activities that I had mentioned. I think that this sounds like, you've made such great progress in the past couple weeks, and I'm really looking forward, honestly, to seeing kind of how you progress. I would love to like check in, say, in like 6 weeks and just do like a quick, phone call just to see how you're doing, if that's something that you might be interested in too.
That would be really nice. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, great. Um, is there anything else that you think maybe would be helpful or that I could help you kind of find before we finish up this last session?
No, I really think that's it. You've already been so helpful, and I feel like I'm in a really good place right now to be like like pausing our sessions together. And I'm just so grateful to you, Heather. You've really helped me a lot.
Well, great. I'm so happy that you were able to put in that work and kind of do this for yourself. It does, as I mentioned, you do seem, to be in a much different space than when we first met. So I think that that kind of speaks volumes. And I think that, using those things that you've learned, so whether it's taking that break to take a walk, whether it's making that first text or call to your friend to kind of connect. I think just using those things will continue to help you throughout your journey. And I'm excited to see where you are in the next couple weeks when we do have that quick check-in.
Me too. Me too. Thank you so much, Heather.
You're welcome. I will, like I said, I'll check in a couple weeks, just a quick little check-in, and we'll continue to see you grow.
Thank you. You have a great night.
Thanks, you too, Sam.